The parable in question today is one concerning the rich man who gives talents to three of his servants, actually, and leaves for a journey. When he returns, he assesses the situation and discovers that the servant to whom he has given 5 talents had invested them fruitfully, and that the servant to whom he had given 3 talents had done the same, so both were pretty good. But he finds to his chagrin that the slave to whom he had entrusted 1 talent had simply buried that talent in the ground and neither gained a penny of interest for his master. Angered, he orders that the 1 talent be taken away from the timid servant and given to the servant who had invested in a bold way. The moral lesson for this is, for everyone who has, more will be given, but for whom the one who has not, even what he has will be taken away. The talents can symbolize gifts that we have, abilities that God has given you and I, and what he expects us to do with our talent. But a talent does not mean the same thing in the gospel today. A talent in ancient times was a measure of something, particularly weighty, particularly heavy, and it usually was silver and gold. So really, Jesus is not talking about talents as we know them today, but of weight in gold or in weight in silver. A single talent might be represented as much as 50 pounds of gold. So that's a lot of gold that he's giving to these servants. Something like a talent, if you ever saw those bars in Fort Knox, is about this big and about that thick, and he gave about 5 of those talents to the first one. What we would likely miss today was that the ancient Jewish reader would catch immediately when Jesus was talking his connection to weightiness, heaviness. 5 talents was incredibly heavy, as I said. Heaviness would have brought to mind the heaviest weight of all, and that is the mercy of God. The term was rendered in Greek and in Latin as gloria, and in Greek as doxa, both which carry the connotation of luminosity. But the basic sense of the Hebrew word is heaviness, gravitas. And this heaviness of God was to be found in the temple of Jerusalem, resting upon the mercy seat within the Holy of Holies, where they worshiped. Therefore, that was the heaviest and most glorious of all, the mercy of God. You and I can read Jesus' parables probably with fresh eyes now. The talents given to the 3 servants are not so much monetary gifts or personal capacities. They are a share in the mercy of God, a participation in the heaviness of his divine love on us. But since mercy is always directed to another person, these talents are designed to be shared, not to be kept for yourself. But the problem with the timid servant was that he buried his talent, and he was ineffective, and he was not sharing mercy. This divine mercy that we get from God, received as a pure gift, is meant to be given to others as a pure gift, not to be buried in the ground. And this is why the Master's seemingly harsh words should not be read as a punishment by God, but as an expression of his divine mercy. When we try to cling to it as a possession, it disappears from us. This 2,000-year-old parable, this ancient story, once we unpack the spiritual significance of it, means something to us today. That we are to give to others that mercy from God, to forgive others when they do things to us. This is what we're looking at in today's parable. To be merciful as God is merciful. May the Lord today comfort all those who are afflicted with the COVID virus.